Hey guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Nitro. Well, it's been a little while since I uploaded an episode, so I figured I might just as well continue my missions out to Duna. So I did land another piece of the Duna Command Center down on the surface of Duna next to the original one, just to kind of grow the base out a little bit. And what I have here is my rover that I'm going to send out to Duna right now. See my little rover in there, and it's got 2 seats on it, so we can put 2 Kerbals on it. Fully unmanned, does have ion engines, got vertical takeoff engines, and aircraft landing gear, oddly enough, but it works. So I'm gonna send this sucker out there to Duna, and then I guess this this box that I have it encased in is also going to act as our hangar, depending on how well it lands on the surface. If it lands in one piece, then that'll be great, but I think some of these side parts might decouple a little bit, but we'll see. So what I did is I attached it to my new favorite transfer stage in the whole wide world. I got a space station out to Elu with this thing, but we'll do missions out there later. And then I also have my Leviathan heavy lifter attached to it down here, which is saved as subassembly. And I'm just going to do a straight shot from Kerbin, so I'm not going to worry about orbits or anything. And all of the staging is basically set up. Just want to change that one little thing right there, and I think we're good to go. So let's hit it. So I'm not going to worry about getting an orbit or anything around Kerbin since we're going to Duna. We don't have to worry about any inclination changes. We're not doing any refueling. So there's really no point in going into an orbit. We'll just launch prograde from Kerbin's rotation around the sun. So it is Tuesday the 17th, and looking forward to that new 0.23 update, but at the time of this recording, it is not out yet, so I don't know what they're doing down there in Mexico, probably drinking tequila or whatever, but we'll see. Hopefully it comes out sometime tonight. I do want to get my hands on the new career mode. I got a couple of things going on out here in orbit now. It's our Kerbin Fuel Depot. I got a Joule 5 challenge and then a new station I'm working on here, this Helios 5. But I'll do that a little later, so let's find... What is that? Oh yeah. Another failed mission. That thing got eaten by the Kraken. I just kind of left it out there. Okay. So we want to be ejecting this way. So let's speed up time warp, and what I'm doing is I'm just bringing the Space Center in line with this little star out here on the background. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to do a straight launch all the way from Kerbin out to Duna without the need to achieve orbit. And so that should be right about there. Yeah, it looks good. Alright, so we are ready to roll. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I did manage to stop that chaotic spin. That was worrying me a little bit. But it looks like we're fine now. We're nice and stable. So now, just gonna do some good old physical time warp and accelerate a little faster. Alright, so it looks like we'll be fine. Let's check our orbit. Pretty much in line. I don't really want to use the moon to eject this either, so we'll just go ahead and burn it. I do not know if this will give us an intercept or not, but we'll just go ahead and see. It's a beautiful thing about Duna, it's basically on the same inclination as Kerbal, so I don't really have to worry about doing an inclination burn until later. May have burned a bit too much, but we'll see. As we get out to periapsis. Right here. Alright. I think that looks basically good. I'll just do a slight inclination burn over here and wait for a proper intercept. So, looks like the electrical generators are doing their job. I don't have to worry about running out of power. Alright, that still has a lot of fuel left in the first set of drop tanks. Alright, looks good. So let's see, if we're catching up to it, it's gonna plop us around out that way. probably would have been better just to escape the Kerbal SOI and then set up a different maneuver node like I should have done, but oh well. Doesn't matter. Not too bad. It was a pretty big jump, so I think 3 orbits ought to do it. I'll just go ahead and pause it and then bring you guys back in once we have an intercept set up. Alright, so we got our maneuver node and everything set up here, and that puts us at 434,000 meters, which is pretty good. Alright, and that should do it. Let's see, 500,000, that's perfect. So I think after this I should finally do a little mission out to Ike and land on Ike and then go to Driz and then launch our mission out to Jewel There's a challenge out in the KSP forums called the Jewel 5 Challenge, and you have to land on all 5 moons in the Jewel system, and then return back to Kerbal in one mission. And I do have a ship already assembled and ready to go for that. But I just wanted to see what the 0.23 update came out with before I decide whether or not to do it. I might do it in career mode instead of sandbox. But we'll just see how that plays out. Alright, so I set the Gagarin station as my primary target, and that is of course in line with our Duna Command Center on the ground, so deorbiting from the same inclination as the Gagarin station will guarantee that I land very, very close to the Duna Command Center, which is what we want. So let's just fine-tune our inclination burn. I'm probably going to have to do a couple of inclination burns, we'll see. Alright, that looks good. Yeah, pretty close. Alright. Now let's get our apoapsis and periapsis within the Gagarin station orbit, and we'll be in business. Perfect. Alright. I just gotta go down to the surface and wait for it to be in the daylight side, because you guys probably want to see this in a well-lit condition. Alright. Well, here we are back down at the Duna Command Center, and there, as you can see, we have our Duna Control Tower over here. That's our second piece that I landed down here a little later. I got it pretty close. I was fairly happy with that. I don't think anything broke either, so I think everything is as it should be. So now let's just go ahead and time warp. So we're on the daytime side, like right there looks good. Oh yeah. Alright, looks good. Bill is still in charge of this facility. Alright, so let's land our rover. That looks pretty on target. Let's see. Aha, we can see it right there. Awesome. I'm gonna overshoot it just a little bit because as we start coming down here, this is gonna shrink as we enter Duna's atmosphere. I think right there should be good. We'll see what happens. That was close. Oh man. Perfect. Could not ask for better. I love it. Try to set us down as gently as possible. Not entirely sure what all that debris is. Hopefully our control towers didn't get damaged. What is that? That debris? Uh-oh. Look at that. Looks like all the debris from the engines and everything. Shouldn't hit us, though. Oh. What the heck? Oh. I see what happened. The the top probe part busted off of my my cage here. That's kind of funny. There it is, floating down to the surface. So there goes our solar panels and our electrical generators, I think. Well, I guess we're not really using any power. Might as well turn off SAS. I do just want to watch this float to the ground all gracefully. That's pretty funny. As long as that's the only thing that ripped off, you know, that's fine. I'm okay with this. Looks like it's actually all in one piece too. Oh man. There we go. That's actually kind of cool. I think if those little antennas aren't broken, I think I'm just gonna keep it like that and just leave it there. That's pretty nifty, believe it or not. Oh well, let's see if anything else is broken here. I do still have some solar panels, so let's see. It doesn't look like they're activating. Oh well. These damaged. Yep, all broken. That's unfortunate. Well, a Kerbal can fix those, so it's not a total loss. We do still have a lot of fuel left in here. My rover's inside. I'm debating on whether or not I want to keep these, because what I can potentially do is refuel the rover this way, and because there is a docking port in here. I didn't really think of this. Although it is elevated up above the ground, so I guess that's not a good thing. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, we're good. And eject. Ah. Oh, that's pretty. Now just don't explode. Oh, brakes! Stop moving. Stop moving. There we go. Alright, so what's going on here is there's little aircraft landing gear attached to the rover, and it can apparently warp itself through the bottom of the box, which is kind of nifty. And then if I retract it here, this box should sit down nice and gently on the surface, just like that. Beautiful. Alright, overall, this is not too shabby. I'm really happy with how this thing landed. So let's just do a quick resource check. It looks like we can have these lights on indefinitely, so that is always a plus. All these solar panels do technically work, so I think what I'm gonna do is just delete all the debris here, bring a Kerbal over, fix it, and then we can deploy our rover out of here. So these are blast doors. So this whole front section here is gonna blast off like a rocket. So I had to be really careful I didn't aim it at the control towers, otherwise this thing would go flying away and destroy our command center, which we don't want to do. But for a precision landing, I got pretty darn close. I'm really happy with how this landing turned out for a first attempt, as you saw. So yeah, now that we have a rover, let's go ahead and go back to our space center and clean up all this extra debris. And then we can get Bill over there and start conducting Duna ground operations. So now that I've learned that I can land something like that with full fuel pods on it, I think what I'm going to do is just going to make another cage just like the one that I had, and I'm going to be able to dock the rover to the little cage while it's on the ground, and then I can refuel the rover on the ground. So that's pretty nifty. All I have to do is just send out a duplicate cage with some fuel, and then it'll have the ability to dock. And then I think if I make another rover, that I can refuel on the ground, and I can refuel the refuel cage. So I have to have some way of servicing it, but that'll be later on down the road. We'll see how that turns out. Wow, I'm so happy it landed so close too. I didn't have to retry. It's always a plus. There's a lot of debris. I just want to clean it up while I'm here. Pretty excited with how that turned out. So right now, I live in Arizona, so it is 12:30 in the afternoon, and I don't know if the new update 0.23 is out yet, but hopefully it'll come out sometime this afternoon so I can get my hands on it. Then I'll probably do another recording and just see what all the new stuff is. All this debris is from the lifter and all those launch clamps that I had attached to it. So if you guys like this rover, I will have it in the descriptions and up for download, the entire thing. with the transfer stage, the launcher, and the rover itself inside the cage. All you gotta do is just fly it the way I did there, and you should have no problem. That box that it's in is actually rated to land on most any surface, and as you saw, I still had a lot of fuel left in the transfer stage, so I'm really confident that that thing could make it all the way up to live at the Joule system if you wanted to, and then you could land that rover on live and drive it around. Tylo, I'm not too sure about. You could definitely land it on Eve and have some fun with it there. Moho would be another good place to land it, because those landing engines that I have attached to it have a lot of power, so you'll be able to control your landing. Just don't come in as hot as I did for the landing on Duna, because I did accidentally break off that little piece of tower. It's not a huge loss, but I am a little disappointed that it broke off, but it landed on the ground, so maybe I'll be able to use it. We'll see. Just about done with all this debris here. I don't want to clean up that one part on the ground, so I'm gonna have to figure out which one that is, because all of these have the same mission time. So we'll figure out what we got here. Because I did see some of the solar panels look like they broke off. Hopefully this doesn't break the game. Sometimes when you try to fly debris, it doesn't turn out very good. Looks like it's these. So that, yeah, it's that fuel tank, right? It's fine. Oh, I think that was actually the engine, oddly enough. Oh yeah, this thing has that has a probe core on it, so that's not actually a piece of debris, believe it or not. Alright, never mind. All the debris can be successfully deleted. Hopefully that probe core is still intact. It looked like it bounced a little when it landed. I don't know if it's still functioning. We'll find out here. Alright, so all this debris should be fine to delete. And yeah, I think that is our little tower that broke off. Yep, sure enough. So, let's see. Haha, they deploy too. Awesome. So it looks like everything here is still operational. Yep, that's operational, sure enough. Alright, well, let's just rename this. I guess it is a probe, but see. Yeah, whatever. Sensor. Alright, just so I know what it is. That looks fine. Let's try this. We got our rover here. Brakes are still on, so let's turn those off. It's like it's sitting on the ground nicely. The reason I added RCS tanks on the back here is a counterweight because the rover actually has some odd weight distribution. So in order to get this thing to have a center of mass perfectly in the center, I had to add a couple RCS tanks. But that's okay. Let's see. We got E-Lock over here. Where is he? Oh. I guess he's in here. Is that a ladder? It is a ladder. I don't think that ladder is retracting. Oh. There it goes. Huh. Well, yeah, I might as well just have E-Lock do it. Get him. Whoa! I forgot you were up here, buddy. Let's go ahead and get you back inside where you're safe. I thought he was down here in the little hitchhiker pod, but apparently not. That's why it's called a control tower. I completely forgot. So let's see, where are you? There's Bill. Alright, so Bill should be in here, the middle. Yep, there we go. Good old Bill. Go check out the damage. Oh, another thing I just thought of, I really hope that the new update 0.23 doesn't screw up the terrain here on Duna, otherwise my base will be in jeopardy. And this took a little while to set up and put together, so I would be a little pissed if things got broken at this point, especially after this epic landing. So I don't want to use the jetpack just in fear of killing Bill. Duna's gravity is kind of intense for jetpack usage for flying purposes, so that's why we have a rover. I need to go get that thing out. It's not too far, it's only, what did it say, 170 meters, something like that. It's alright, you can get some exercise, low gravity. Go and repair all these parachutes just so it looks nice and pretty, and then we can repair the those solar panels up there, and then this thing should be pretty operational. It does make me a little sad this broke off, but it does have a bunch of strong parachutes on it, and they all deployed pretty much instantaneously when I hit the button, so that's why that happened. But yeah, if I were to make a refueling container roughly the same size and same height as this with a docking port on the middle, I can refuel that rover on the surface. I already tested it over at the Kerbal Space Center, and it worked. So I think that might be the next project that I do as far as my Duna base goes. And then after I'm done here on Duna, I gotta set up a base on Lythe and put a station out there. That'll be my next base of operations. Alright, that looks good. Can he not repair the solar panel? Uh-oh. No. Get up. Alright. Come on. Repaired, damn it. Huh. I guess he can't repair these. That sucks. I mean, the Kerbals can repair wheels and things. I thought they could repair the solar panels, but I guess not. That blows. Oh well. He just cannot walk on this thing. Alright, let's go ahead and get him off the roof then. Alright. Looks good. Let's go ahead and get him to stand clear of the blast doors. I guess we can get Evok over there. I want to take these guys for a spin. This would be kind of fun. So let's see. Hopefully he doesn't fall. If a Kerbal so much as touches one of these solar panels, it breaks it off. I did have that happen during my Vol experiences. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get you clear. Yeah. Alright. That wasn't too bad. Alright. Both Kerbals are standing by and ready. Alrighty, here we go. Let's go ahead and get all these up here. Everything is ready. Blowing the door in 3, 2, 1. That turned out well. And there's our rover. Perfect. Alright. Ready to take her for a little spin. Let's see here. Brakes are on. Come on. I guess the Kerbals are weighing down the craft. Oh gosh. There we go. It's kind of funny if that happens. Oh well. And it's hard to get E-Lock back in there without risk of destroying the solar panels, so I think he's just going to have to stay in there for a while. Alright, here's our little rover. And he can of course move on his own because he is a fully autonomous system. So let's just... Although it is a little harder, I guess, to control him now. I think the problem was... I think maybe I need to just disable the reaction wheels. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that fixes it. Makes it much easier. Awesome. Now the rover's working. So I think later I'll just send down a rover crew, and then they can stay over here in the control tower. Not really sure yet. Let's test some brakes. Yeah, that looks alright. Yeah, so I can deploy the landing gear like that and then activate brakes on it too, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, there you go, Duna Rover, my first little rover on Duna, and we have our control towers here. Gonna use that as like a little hangar bay, I guess. Actually, I might as well just store the rover in there right now and test it out. I think I have a hotkey for those antennas, but I forget what it is, so sorry. It does have vertical takeoff engines as well. I think just one engine. I think I got rid of the other engines, but all the fuel supply will flow downward to that center fuel tank on the bottom. So I think I'm going to take this rover for a spin sometime later and test it out around Duna. There it goes right there. So yeah, it is actually docked right now on the top there. So perfect. That actually works the way it's intended to. Which is pretty freaking cool. Let's see if this still works. Uh-oh. Oof. Ooh. Alright, that probably wasn't the best thing in the world to do. Yeah, it looks like they're warping through. So let's go ahead and set you gently back down on the surface. Sorry, cage. Alright. I think the rest of the cage is fairly intact too. I don't think blowing the door damaged anything critical. Looks like all the struts and everything's still connected too, so that's good. Yeah, I'm happy with the way this turned out. This is awesome. I have a docking garage for my rover on Duna. So if you guys like this and you want to use this for yourself on Duna or on some other planet, go ahead and download it, give it a shot. Hope you guys like my little rover garage and everything that I got on here. Minus the tower, that does make me kind of sad that all that wound up breaking. But oh well. I'm happy with what we got. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys like this. Check it out. Download will be in the descriptions. And I'll see you guys next time. Later.